My people say, the shadow you chase in greed may grow into the darkness that swallows you. Tonight, I will tell you the tale of Okoro, the hunter who dared to steal the leopard's shadow. A story of greed, power, and the price of defying the spirits. In a village surrounded by tall iroko trees and rivers that sang to the moon, there lived a hunter named Okoro. Okoro was strong, sharp-eyed, and fearless. He never returned from the forest empty-handed. His traps caught the fattest bushmeat, and his arrows pierced even the fastest antelope. The villagers respected him. But for Okoro, respect was not enough. He dreamed of becoming richer than the chiefs, greater than the elders, and feared like the spirits themselves. His heart was never satisfied. One day, an old herbalist, bent with age, whispered to him, "Okoro, I know your hunger for greatness. If you want power beyond men, find the leopard that walks at midnight. But beware, its shadow is more dangerous than its claws." Okoro laughed. "What is a shadow compared to my strength? If power lies in it, then I will take it." When the moon was round and silver, Okoro sharpened his arrows, rubbed his charms on his skin, and walked into the forest. The air was heavy. The trees stood silent, their branches like arms warning him to turn back. The owls stopped hooting, the crickets hushed. Even the wind refused to blow. Suddenly, a pair of glowing eyes appeared in the darkness. The leopard emerged, its coat shining like polished gold, its teeth sharp as knives. But Okoro's eyes widened not at the beast, but at what followed behind it, a long, dark shadow, larger than the leopard itself. The shadow slithered and twisted like a living creature, growling low though the leopard made no sound. Okoro's heart beat fast. But his greed whispered louder than his fear. He threw his enchanted net. Not on the leopard, but on its shadow. The forest shook with a terrible roar. The leopard leapt back and fled into the night. But its shadow, the shadow writhed, struggled, then sank into Okoro's net. Okoro held it high and laughed. "Now, true power is mine." From that night, Okoro changed. When he walked under the sun, he cast no shadow of his own. Instead, the leopard's shadow followed him, long and terrifying. Its eyes glowed at his feet, its tail flicked behind him, its fangs opened whenever he spoke. The villagers were struck with fear. When Okoro entered the market, women stopped their trading. When he entered the council of elders, even chiefs lowered their eyes. Children ran from him, whispering, "Look! The hunter walks with a beast at his feet." Okoro's pride grew. He hunted without fear, for no animal dared to face him. Even lions turned and fled. He became rich, powerful, untouchable. But in the dark of night, when Okoro lay on his mat, the shadow prowled restlessly. It growled at the corner of his heart. Sometimes, he awoke to see glowing eyes staring at him. Sometimes, he felt claws pressing against his chest. He tried to ignore it. But the shadow whispered in his dreams, "You are not the master. You are the thief." Soon, calamity fell on the land. Goats were found slaughtered in their pens. Chickens vanished without trace. Children woke crying, saying a beast stood outside their windows at night. Hunters entered the forest but returned empty-handed. The animals had fled deeper, away from the spirit of the stolen shadow. The elders gathered in the moonlight, casting cowries, reading signs on the earth. And their voices shook when they spoke. "The balance of the forest has been broken. Someone has taken what belongs to the spirits. If it is not returned, our land will perish." The cowries pointed to one man, Okoro. One stormy night, rain lashed the hut and thunder roared across the sky. Okoro sat sharpening his spear when a growl rose from the shadows of his hut. From the darkness, the leopard appeared, its body lean, its eyes burning with rage. Behind it stretched no shadow, only emptiness. Okoro froze. The leopard spoke, its voice deep as the earth. Hunter, you thought you could steal from me. You thought you could own what belongs to the spirits. But you did not steal power, you borrowed death. Return what is mine, or be devoured. Okoro gripped his spear. Pride flared in his chest. This shadow is mine. With it, I am greater than any king. At his words, the leopard's eyes blazed. The shadow at Okoro's feet rose up, taller, darker, twisting like smoke with claws of fire. It roared, and the hut shook. The shadow turned, not against the leopard, but against Okoro himself. The shadow leapt onto Okoro, wrapping him like a cloak. He screamed as claws tore through his skin. Black spots spread across his body. His teeth sharpened, his nails carved like talons. His eyes glowed like fire. The leopard roared, not in anger, but in triumph. For balance was being restored. Okoro fell to the ground, half man, half beast, his voice a mixture of a man's cry and an animal's growl. He stumbled into the storm, vanishing into the forest, never to be seen in the village again. To this day, hunters say that in the deepest part of the forest, pawprints appear on the ground and then turn into human footprints, before vanishing into nothing. At night, travelers hear a terrible sound, first a leopard's roar, then a man's scream. Some say Okoro became the guardian of the leopard's shadow, cursed to wander between man and beast forever. Others whisper that he was devoured, body and soul, by the shadow he tried to control. But one thing is certain, the leopard still prowls the forest, but its shadow has never been seen again. My people say, the hand that steals from the spirits will never hold peace. Okoro sought greatness in greed. But what he thought was power became his destruction. So remember this, the forest keeps its secrets. What belongs to the wild must remain in the wild.